Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Wednesday, October 14th, 2020 by Gaia Blooming. I am Mimi and our energy mantra for today is balance is the elixir. So we are moving ever closer to new moon Libra energy. We are in dark of the moon and we are working with Mercury now in retrograde. Mercury went retrograde just about an hour before me recording this. So between dark of the moon and Mercury now retrograde in Scorpio, we may have to face some shadows. And I really want to go there because I was sitting here thinking about like how much I love Abraham. I love Abraham Hicks, in case you haven't been watching me for a long time. If I am feeling low, Abraham is actually one of my elixirs. Abraham is one of my supports because I know it can always help me shift. That being said, is Abraham the only answer? No. Abraham is like, well, let's pivot. Let's shift where you're coming at these energies. And I think that we all need that ability to pivot. We all need that ability to shift at times. And yet I also believe that there are certain energies that need to be felt and experienced, that we have to get into the rawness in order to fully shift things. And so what do we have here? We have balance. We have the balance between knowing when you need to sit in the mud, and purify. The mud helps purify, release the impurities within us. And when it's time to get out of the mud and wash the mud off, wash the impurities off that have come to the surface. And so we want to remember that in Libra time. And we want to remember that as we're in the dark of the moon and as we have this Mercury retrograde in Scorpio energy. Yes, go to the dark. Be willing to be all in. But also know when it's time to shift, when it's time to pivot, and when it's time to wash the muck off. Balance. I swear that balance may actually be the ultimate answer in the universe. If we can just find what that means in and of ourselves and in the universe. It always comes back to balance. Anyway, is that what the Tao says? The middle path? The middle way? Exactly. So, what do we have going on today? Well, we are going to be building today to that Sun square Pluto energy. That's on top of dark of the moon, and that's on top of this Mercury retrograde. So squares bring resistance, and so you may find some resistance coming up in you to going there. The Sun in Libra energy, while it spouts balance, Libra would really like it to be flower gardens and beautiful things and pretty dresses and adorn me with love. And Libra, I'm right there with you. Like, please, can we have some of that? And yet, in the balance of things, we also have to go into the storms and the mud and all of that. Again, all of the purification. And Pluto really can and does bring us that energy. So, we have that square happening early on Thursday morning, but we're gonna feel that building. So we may feel tension. We may feel the tension in the places where we need to go, and yet we're resisting. So be aware of your resistance. We may also find some outside or even internal battles for power and control popping up. Pluto reminds us of the power of transformation and the power of our own personal power. There is power even in saying, I call my power back to me, or even recognizing how we have been very trained to be like, oh, you want my power? Here you go, here you go, here you go, just handing it away. So be aware of this and keep bringing it back to your own personal balance, your own personal harmony energy as we build into this square, which I'll get into more in tomorrow's astro. Besides that, the moon in Virgo is making the majority of the connections. I love the first connection. Every single time we have this connection, I'm like, oh, opportunity. So we have the moon in Virgo opposite Neptune. This is early in the morning, so this is how you're starting your day. Neptune in that opposition well, it can be push and pull versus of like presence and reality versus fantasy and mysticism. You know, the unicorns and rainbows that Libra also would like to bring in a little bit more of. And yet, in this opposition, we can have them working together. We can call the magic in. We can call the miracles in. We are all mystics in our own way. Call that energy in to support you. I call on miracles. Bless me, please. I call on miracles. Bless all of us, please. And then look for it. There's that quote, and I don't remember who says it, but those who don't believe in magic will never find it. Believing in the magic of the universe, believing in the good things, it can help pivot us. We just want to keep pivoting, pivoting. And I keep thinking of Friends pivot in the back of my head when I'm saying that. So then the moon in Virgo continues on, connecting to Jupiter, Pluto, and Saturn, connecting to the Capricorns. We want that magic in because between the moon in Virgo and those Capricorns, you may find yourself like overdoing it. I have to be productive. I have these things to do. Overcritical, like, oh, that's not good enough. It has to be better. Not that that's bad, you know. Work, show up, but don't tune yourself out of the magic. In fact, when I was shuffling the cards, this card actually jumped out, the playfulness card. So please keep looking for the unicorns in the clouds, in the skies, and the rainbows, and all those things. Like, allow that magic to infiltrate your day. You have the power to do so. If I had a magic wand, which I do not have one sitting right here, I would do that right now. You have the power. So yeah, the day just kind of has that kind of serious tone with those energies. We then go void, of course. I actually have the laziness card. You may feel a little worn out. It feels like a productive day overall. Just don't overdo it. Again, stay in balance with your personal production power. Moon will move into Libra about 11 p.m. Pacific time. Again, taking us deeper into the dark of the moon. The dark of the moon is the place where mucky muck feelings can reside. And again, if we're ignoring them, it's never good. It's just never good to ignore those things. So in balance, see how you are being called to show up. Trust your personal process in and through all this. Now, I have the politics card and the master card in reverse. The politics card may really connect to those strong earth energies, the moon connecting to all the Capricorn energies. And yet the politics card is like, hey, it's okay for you to be true to you. You don't have to put on a mask. You don't have to win somebody else's approval. Like, be you. But it's a process. We have the master card in reverse. Like, we're not really quite mastered the balance. We haven't mastered not putting on the masks. We haven't mastered not giving our power away for approval. Again, all of these things have been drilled into us for so many lifetimes. So have compassion for yourself as you go through this process, and have compassion for yourself as you work into your personal version of balance. So I'm leaving that there for now. You can book a reading with me. Email me, mimiclark@gmail.com. Besides that, the better it gets, the better it gets. There's more than enough love in the world for you. You have the power. Magic wand. And stay curious. Namaste.